the letter of August 2, 2007 and July 31st, 2007, where Mrs. Doe is communicating with the president through the E.B. McLean Jr. for a car or so, is not within our purview. You know, so I mean, what happens after 2003, today's date, you know, is not within our purview. You know, what the government, who they giving car to or what not giving, that's not part of our work.
Okay. No problem, no problem.
Yes, so you can pass that.
Let me see.
Okay, yes. You can see it, but it's just written 2000. Let me just give the dates. July 31st, 2007, a letter from Mrs. Doe to Edward McLean, and August 2nd, 2007. So that is not what we support in our term of reference.
Yeah, no problem.
Within our term of reference, how old are you? How old were you? 1980, April 12th.
1980, April 12th. For me, I was born 1964, March 10th.
Okay,
so from that time, I think you're supposed to know.
And okay, yes, 1980. What were you doing? Were you employed or where were you?
1980, I was in school. I was in an elementary school in Grand Jida. In
Grand Jida County.
Yes, ma'am.
1980. And when did you come to Monrovia?
I came to Monrovia in 1986.
1986.
Yeah.
6 years after
the coup.
Mr. Doe took power.
Yeah.
He died 1990.
Yeah.
And I see you becoming an administrator of Mr. Doe estate. Amended letter of administration was given April 3rd, 2007.
Yeah.
So he died 1990 and you became administrator 2007. Yeah. That is almost a good number of years. So are you still in the position to talk about his estate, like how much, when he died, how much money he had in his estate and how many houses, since you're the administrator, co-administrator of his estate? Because the TRC is also not just investigating human rights violations or atrocity, but we are also investigating economic crimes. That people who use the resources of government, you know, for other means. So as co-administrator of his estate, which if you're administrator of the estate, you're supposed to know about the estate. So will you be able to furnish to this commission also how much, when Mr. Doe died, April 1990 in September, what his estate was in terms of financial as well as structures? Will you be able to give also that information to us?
Well, thank you very much. For now, I will not be able to give you that information because when the man died, other people went in the man's office and a house, they looted the place. And so, I mean, the man lost the document. I mean, most of the documents got missing. We can't get them. Even some horses in town here, people can tell, oh, they play for Doe, they play for Doe, but we can't get a document.
Mr. Witness.
Yes, ma'am.
I can say to you with reasonable facts that in September 1990, Councilor Nyemplu applied to the probate court with Nancy Doe for letters of administration before Harper Bailey, Judge Harper Bailey, and they got letters of administration to because they are public records to administer the estate of Mr. Doe. And in view of that also, Mrs. Doe applied in London for letters of administration to administer the estate. And the inventory was also given. So for that, it didn't take what was looted in his place. Those information were given, and that was how they were able to locate his money in London and other places, Switzerland, Boston, and to the BCCI bank and other places. So I can give you that is public knowledge, and maybe if you can look in the courts or so, you will be able to attest that. But since just it's been less than a year, just a year since you became administrator, perhaps you're not aware of those documents, but I give you reference where you can find them. Okay. No, I just want you to know.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. You presented to us a document, August 16, 1990, in which when you were testifying, you said you called the names of Ellen Johnson, Salif Fomoyan,
yeah,
and who else?
Dr. Sawyer,
Amos Sawyer,
Dr. Charles Clark.
Charles Clark, yes, who you said were responsible for Doe being killed because they asked for the evacuation of Doe. And I think one of the TRC members asked what you consider to be evacuation, like taking someone from one place to another.
Yes.
I would, for clarity, because this letter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraph letter, and it's signed by the leader of Unity Party, Ketterly, chairman of United People Party, G. Barkers Matthew, executive member, Liberia Action Party, Ellen Johnson Salif, chairman, Liberia People's Party, Amos Sawyer, J. Mamadi Wotie, represented Liberian Unification Party, Randall Cooper, represented National Patriotic Association, Patrick Sayon, chairman, Association for Constitutional Democracy in Liberia, Reverend Burgess Cannon Carr, Interfaith Mediation Committee, Winston Totman, Elta Boy Cooper, Elwood Dawn, James Foymoyan, Secretary General Unity Party, Levi Zangwa, Acting Secretary General Liberian Action Party, Charles Clark, Milton T.J., and Isaac D.E. Bantu, President Press Union of Liberia. But maybe you could read, of just reading, I say it started here with a group of Liberian political leaders.
Yes.
Was taking the opportunity to convey to the Excellency and head of the state participating in a recent meeting of the Community Standing Mediation Committee in Banjul that was held, I'm reading from the Gambia, from August 6 to 7, 1990. And extending appreciation for the interest taken in trying to resolve the difficult problems affecting our country, Liberia. I won't, because if you just say it, we're all giving the facts, you know, for everyone here to see what it says. Okay, read the whole letter. May I have the opportunity to read a letter so everyone here can say what it really states instead of just this evacuation, which is 1 to the 3rd paragraph. I'll read it because I have the opportunity and privilege to do it. His Excellency Alhaji Dwadwa Kara Jara, President of the Republic of Gambia and Chairman of the first session of the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS. Your Excellency, we, a group of Liberian political leaders, take this opportunity to convey to Your Excellency and other heads of state participating in the recent meeting of the Community Standing Mediation Committee held in Banjul, the Gambia, from 6 to 7 August 1990, our appreciation and gratitude for the interest taken in trying to resolve the difficult problems affecting our country. We have noted with keen interest the text of the resulting communique issued by your meeting, in which to indicate your full support for the compassion and interest reflected in your work. In viewing the communique, we wish to particularly pay our attention to paragraph 14, which deals with the establishment of an interim government in Liberia as an integral part of the comprehensive effort to restore peace in our country. We agree that this issue is indispensable to the steps which you have outlined for implementing a peaceful resolution to the Liberian crisis. This is because we strongly feel that such an interim government is necessary to ensure the existence of an authority being present to govern the terms of reference of the peacekeeping force which is contemplated will be provided under the auspices of ECOWAS. Moreover, we as Liberians are united in our views that Mr. Samuel Doe's evacuation from Liberia is essential as a precondition for the peace process. The interim government which is envisaged must therefore be established to fill the vacuum which will occur with Mr. Doe's departure. We are mindful of the care and concern which have gone into the process of determining the composition of the peacekeeping force that is to be deployed by ECOWAS. Indeed, we are grateful for the West African sister states for taking this important initiative. We nonetheless wish to register our view that the deployment of such a force would take into consideration the potential conflict of interest on the ethnic level. It will therefore be necessary to ensure that where ethnic problems might materialize, special effort is taken in respect of how and where certain groupings in the peacekeeping force are deployed. With reference to paragraph 40 of your communique, we wish to endorse the position taken by ECOWAS in this regard and request your assistance to facilitate the convening of a national conference of representatives of political parties, the interfaith mediating committee, the military forces involved in the armed conflict, among others, with a view toward forming a broad-based interim government of national unity. Such a conference, we respectfully submit, should be held at a time and place convenient for your excellency. However, owing to the urgency of the matter and the continual loss of human lives, we propose that the meeting take place toward the latter part of the week beginning 20 August 1990. It is our sincere wish that you will find it possible to facilitate this meeting. Towards this end, we have already taken steps to structure the agenda and technical documentations which will be required for such an all-party meeting. We trust that you will agree that the successful convening of this meeting will greatly contribute to our efforts to bring peace and constitutional democracy to our country. Please accept, Your Excellency, the assurance of our highest esteem. And these people sign representing their respective political parties and forces. So with the clarity of this letter and how the evacuation came about, I will proceed with the next question. You were present and you said that during the period of that these people got, including Prince Johnson and Yomi, killed Mr. Doe in such a way. I want to know, and the constituted government, I want to know in 1990, when you said that Mr. Doe said he did not kill Mr. Toba, was that a constituted government that he decided to head, to your knowledge? Do you know? Okay. Do you know, because whether or not that was a constitutional government that you said Mr. Doe, they say he killed Top or he was responsible. Do you know? You can tell us who was responsible, if you know, because you are big then.
Well, I thank you very much for that question. I am saying, if Prince Johnson can come out to say, well, Samuel Doe killed Top, that's the reason why I killed him. For me, I have gotten a clip on him. Let him bring a clip that will convince me too. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Doe say he not killed Toba. No, I'm only asking Prince Johnson to bring his own evidence. For me, I have evidence. I got a clip.
Do you know then who all were part, who assumed responsibility for killing the government that was there before Mr. Doe?
The government that was there before Mr. Doe?
Yes.
All those that were in jail, that the government put in jail that time, that the people who were the part. Yeah.
But they were in jail.
They were in jail. And though then as enlisted men took them out of jail. I don't know about what, some military tactics. But when they came out, they were the one that informed Doe, kill these people, kill these people, kill these people, then you will live long on the seat.
All right.
Namely like Amos Sawyer #1.
Was Amos Sawyer in jail? Because you said those who were in jail.
Those who were in jail. If Amos Sawyer was not in jail, but I know very well, he was one of the brains that were behind Doe telling him, let's do this, let's do this.
To sign the 30 men that went to the poll.
Yeah.
Do you know, since you were close to Mr. Doe, and listen, do you know whether or not Mr. Doe signed for them to be killed? Because we were very close.
Doe did not sign for them to be killed. It was the People's Redemption Council that did that act. They signed. It was not Doe as an individual.
Oh, I mean, but he did it as the head of the People's Redemption
He was
Council.
the head. So this is the reason why he was killed like that. Because he was the head. But he was not the only one that signed the death warrant of these people.
All right.
Yeah.
And you talk about all the good things that Mr. Doe did during his term, but they only talking there, then point to anything. Do you recall Charles Bayon, the journalists who were working to ELBC? Charles Bayon, we heard. The invasion, and he went to the mansion, and since then, do you know, since you were very close and working there and know about what went on in the mansion, do you know about how Charles Bayon died?
Well, I can't tell you, yes, I know how Charles Bayon died, because during that time it was conflict of military action, and you understand, just in that time it was the time Quiwonkpa tried to take over, and then, I mean, things were upside down here. So if anybody can have a clip at that time, the person will be the best person to educate us. But for me, I can't tell you I know until a clip can come up.
Also, that is very good. That's why we clipping now, because why? Those days and everything, people didn't have the opportunity of having on clip. But we do have, although we don't have clip, but the best evidence is just like you talking now.
Okay.
There have been people who even came and testified, even for the Lutheran massacre. There were witnesses who crippled and who showed bullet wound and survivors of the Lutheran Church massacre. When you say Prince Johnson went and talked that day, who even were present and they identified President Doe and Charles Julu with someone else on that morning who were giving candies around. Where were you on that morning? Can you tell?
Well, what you are saying now is the fact, but one thing I know is since the issue of Doe was clipped from 1990, I know everything they had on clip. So they can't tell me Lutheran massacre, which is a very serious massacre, will not be on clip, and they will only say it from the say. For me, I saw the clip Prince Johnson. Carry on. This is the reason why I'm keep on accusing him. So if they say, well, this thing happened to Lutheran, let them try to make us to know. And you understand? By showing clip. Because from 1979, maybe the clip business was not on. 1985, the clip business was not on. But from 1990, everything that happened here, we've been seeing it on clip.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's be frank.
Yeah.
To the Lutheran church that night, they didn't have lights. And there was even curfew, I believe. So if someone doesn't have clip and you have witnesses just like now, you are here telling us things and you're not showing us the clip. You're not showing us the clip of the German, of the mansion and the American bomb that had on the America. You're not showing us the clip when the American ambassador was called by Doe in the mansion.
Yes.
You not showing us the clip of all what you said. So do you, what you said without clip, do you want us to believe it? Because in the absence of clip we don't see, or you want us to take what you said without clip, don't accept?
Thank you very much. For what I'm saying, it's not a massacre. For anywhere they have massacre, they always have pictures to show people what happened. Like for Catholic massacre and things, they have clips and things to it. But what I'm saying is something like there. If you even call any other person who was behind the mansion, they will tell you how the bomb came and fly, and the next place is right to the place here, Budget Bureau. If you go there now, you will see the hole right by the wall. And if you ask the people that are living there, they will tell you. So that is not what I'm talking about on the clip issue. But for massacre, massacre is what I'm looking at.
We went to massacres. We talk about massacre in Mohere Bridge, the Bakadu massacre. All over, we have over 20 massacres, and we don't have clip.
Okay.
But I can tell you what we have: survivors and witnesses.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so when you talk about massacre, those are things, atrocities that are done in the dark that people don't think about. Do you also, Robert Phillips on 16th Street? Did you hear about it?
Robert Phillips, yes. I hear about it. I don't know. And you said what Nicky said is not true. That in Krahn people do not have high priests. But you were very close. I know 1990. And you also, of course, just became the administrator of the state. Were you aware of the Supreme Council that was established 1990? And people like Tilly and the rest of some of them were around, they were Krahn people, big Krahn government officials. Were you aware of the Supreme Council?
My understanding that nothing. I was back on like Supreme Council. Tilly came into being as a volunteer army personnel. They were not Supreme Council. I'm not aware any Supreme Council. Tilly is a volunteer soldier.
Okay, can you name some of the volunteer soldiers that came into being 1990 to fight? The volunteer soldiers, the Krahn volunteer soldiers that really came to fight. Can you name some of them?
Well, the only person that I can tell you about now, we have one old man, one Colonel Bonlu, who was the head for the volunteer, but he also died during Taylor administration. And besides that, all the other small people, I can't stay here now and name the people to you. Because at that time, nobody was saying that to say, well, I will take record, TRC will come. We never knew. If we knew we were going to be taking record on this thing, but we never knew.
And taking clips too.
Oh yes, because when you're taking record, you have to be taking photos and things to make the people to know. But we never knew that time. We thought we all were even going to die.
Mr. Wright, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So in the absence of clips, and the TRC have a mandate,
Has a mandate to investigate all the atrocities that were done before the conflict, starting from 1979, and the Lutheran bishop asked us, they have implied the INPFL that we should go even before.
and you were around for since 1986. You came to Monrovia.
Yeah.
To say just to 1990, because you see now they say there were reasons that some people gave that those should be removed, and these political leaders signed that.
Yes.
Can you, because you were around, in the absence of clipping, can you name some of these atrocities to help us do our work?
Except the one that Mr. Doe was killed by Gambian prisoners. And then other atrocities that going on
In the country, all over. So I can't pinpoint some, but I know that fighting been going on. The fighting started from Butu and ended in Monrovia here. So for me, I was in Monrovia. So we, the people in Monrovia, when it be tough in Ghana, we all run to Logantown. When we see it getting tough Logantown, we run to the other side. You see, so you can't stay somewhere to say, well, let me come be washing. If you stay there, they market yourself. So we're running away from the killers. So you can't stay there to, see what they are doing there. Anyway.
So you can see how our work is very difficult.
Yes, I've seen it.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming to give us some facts to help us with our difficult work.
Thank you
But
very
I
much.
can assure you with God above and the mandate of the Liberian people, including the same political parties, interfaith, you know, we have human rights group, religious group, and with people like you that give some who will do our work in the absence of clips.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I was invited to public knowledge is the information. And the president, as a president, said on his book, it will be about the martial law development. It's public knowledge. Public knowledge is that people went to the churches and killed people. They went to the military school and killed people. They went to Monrovia and killed people. They went to the Liberian and killed people. And at that time, no war. Even the cell phones they have Liberian, no one had it. No one had it. And so we sit there and said, because somebody died. How are you trying to say, oh, I'm saying.
How the incident was supposed to be.
Thank you very much for coming
Thank you, sir.
and attempting to provide some insight on what happened in the past. When you came to this stand, as my fellow commissioners reminded you that you took an oath to tell the truth. And you have said on the record that whatever anybody says about the late President Doe, they must have the proof, otherwise you'll be able to take that person to task, take that person to court, that the person must have proof. Now in your statement, you made a series of allegations which draws into question the character of individuals who are in the society. You said certain people gave instructions to Doe. They were telling Doe, do this and do that and do the other and get rid of this person, get rid of that person. You mentioned several names, including Amos Sawyer and others. Do you have any proof of that?
I got a living witness. And I'm a living witness.
You are a living witness?
Yes, sir.
That what did you hear, what did you see being said, or what did you hear, what kind of instructions were given to Doe?
The instructions were given to Doe by these politicians that if you want to stay long in power, you got to get rid of certain people. That when the PRC came up to put the 13 people on the pole.
Can you say where these instructions were given, when, and who all were there, including yourself? Besides yourself, who all were there when these instructions were given? Besides
myself, who all were there?
Yeah.
Mrs. Doe is one of the witnesses who were there when they did all these, when they talked all these things. And she's living, she's here. You understand?
And you were there.
She know them.
And you were there.
I was not there.
But you said that these people, you made a categorical statement. Mind you, you under oath.
I'm under oath, yeah.
You made a categorical statement.
Yes.
That these people gave this advice, that advice, the other advice.
Yes.
To kill, execute, protecting former government officials.
Yes.
And that you have proof of that.
Yes, I got proof of that.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
When did this happen? Where it happened? Who all were there when it happened? The time it happened?
It happened right after the coup. All those who were cabinet ministers during that time, they were all contributory to these things. Those cabinet ministers that were appointed by Doe at the time, right after the coup.
Yeah, what date was this? Can you establish a date?
No, I can't give you the date now.
Where was this? Where was this meeting held? Where was this meeting held?
So where was the meeting held?
Yeah, in which these instructions were given to Doe, or these advice was given to Doe. Where was that particular meeting held?
If you want us to go into investigation, then I will start to go back to history. Then I will give you the whole rundown about the whole thing.
So you cannot state where this meeting was held, when it was held?
No.
And you were not there?
Now.
And you were not there, you say?
No, I was not there. I was informed by people who were there. And some of these people are still alive.
But when you spoke as though you were there.
No, I told you here that these things happen because of history. We learn from one another. Now you understand? I can be here and somebody tell me something, I go elsewhere and say it. And you understand? But once I can see the person and know the person that told me, definitely if I tell you and you say, well, I want this person to come forward, they can come forward and demonstrate what was going on at that time.
But what if the person was not telling the truth?
The person will not have no cause to lie.
So you can put, so in other words, as our people say, you can put your hair on the chopping board.
Yeah.
You can put your hair on the chopping board.
I can put my hair on the chopping board. Now, as I speak to you, I can put my hair on chopping board. Samuel Doe was just a enlisted man. He never knew nothing about politics. So he can have that sense enough to just put people together and say, yellow put down the put, and they say, okay, there should be some, you know.
But what carried him to the mansion to overthrow the president?
It was military tactics.
Oh,
so it was not political tactics. If it was political, he would have been through an election. But it was military tactics.
Was the mansion a firing range or a training base?
Huh?
Was the mansion a military objective, the mansion?
The mansion is guarded by military people. If military people were not at the mansion, they wouldn't have had a chance to go there.
I see. Okay, let's move on. Where were you at the time? You say you sought refuge behind the mansion. Where were you at the time? What month did you leave Logantown to move behind the mansion?
I left from Logantown in July.
What time in July?
July 1st, I left Logantown, and I came behind the mansion.
So from July 1st, you were behind the mansion?
Yeah.
Now, the Lutheran Church massacre occurred in July. July 29th.
Yeah.
28 days after you moved into the mansion yard.
Yeah.
Where were you at the time this massacre was committed? And when did you hear news of the massacre?
We're right in the mansion yard there. We heard it the next day. But that particular day, though, did not go anywhere. He was with us. During the time of the fight, the man can't go outside in the night. And the massacre was not done broad day. It was done in the night.
So there was fighting going on at the time the massacre was done, you say? Are you saying that there was fighting going on at the time the massacre was committed?
But yeah, that time fighting was going on in the country already.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
The massacre occurred at the Lutheran Church on 13th Street.
14th Street.
14th Street, sorry.
Yeah.
Was there a battle going on around 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20th Street?
The battle was already in Monrovia. The rebel hit Monrovia on July 2nd from red light.
So who was in control of that area?
That the government
was in control of that area.
Control of that area. Then went into the Lutheran Church and killed the people.
Well, the reason why I can't tell you a specific person now is because the rebel came, they were all dressed like civilians. They could come in any community and you consider them civilian. And when you are a uniformed man and you leave from a place and they kill anybody, I mean, they will refer it to the soldiers.
So in other words, you are saying that it was not government soldiers that committed the massacre?
I can't say there was not a government soldier. And I can't say it was the government soldier.
So why are you saying?
I'm only telling you that the rebel came as civilian.
So who committed the massacre? In your mind, in your thinking, who committed the massacre? Was it rebels or was it a government soldier?
So my thinking, it is the rebel. Because if the government soldier wanted to commit massacre, they would have killed all of us that were in a barrack. Because they don't know who is who at the time. Anybody can shoot at anybody anytime.
But they were among their own people now. How you open fire among your own people?
In the barrack there, not only Krahn people were there. We had Geo people as well. We had all the different tribes there as soldiers. And you understand? So anybody can kill people at any time. Anybody can get at anybody at any time. Even most of our brothers said I was killed. It was from the soldiers. Yeah?
Who were responsible for the killing of the people at the United Nations compound?
The United Nations compound people?
Yeah.
I don't know who was responsible for that.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
As close as you were to the power center.
I was close to the power, but I was not going everywhere that the man go. Number one. Number two, the man have his cabinet ministers and he have a government. When they have a meeting, I was not part of the government to say, well, can't sit down here and listen to what we are saying. No. But the only time I can get some information if after meetings and things when the men sit down like having conversation with family, that one I can pick out some of these things and hear it. But not that I was always part of the meetings.
So are you saying that government soldiers did not commit any atrocities?
I will not say yes and I will not say no. And in other way I can say yes. Because most of the soldiers that were here, most of them went and into rebels. So when they come in uniform as government soldiers and commit atrocity, you will look at them to be government soldiers. But standing within the uniform, they are not government soldiers. Because when you are a government soldier, you can't rebel against the government.
Now, you were in Monrovia at the time Doe was killed.
Yeah.
And after Doe was killed, there was a common saying, no Doe, no Monrovia.
Yeah.
When Monrovia was turned into a smokehouse.
Yeah.
Where were you at the time? Did you participate in any of the burning?
I went to the barrack.
Did you participate in any of the burnings?
I never participated in the burning.
Can you name some of those who you knew were participating in the burnings?
I only see smoke outside, but you can't go between the houses and know the people.
So who was responsible for setting fire?
When they leave in the barrack, they can't say today we're going one day or we're going to do that. They can't say, everybody leave and come back.
But you know that they were doing it.
Huh?
You know that government.
I can't say they were doing it because NPFL were also inside the center. As I speak to you, when we're in a barrack, NPFL were all around Lane Street, Nippo Street, and all the areas, the public work and all. We can't easily go there. Until when ECOMOG came to these places. And at that time, nobody can point nowhere when ECOMOG were here.
Have you ever heard the name Vanja Richards?
I heard about Vanja Richards.
Have you ever heard about anything that related to him, how he died?
I only know Vanja Richard to be the best friend of Samuel Doe. Vanja Richard, I think he's somebody who, he's a technical man who was very close to Doe. That's all I know about Vanja Richard. He's your best friend. I think he was in, if I'm not mistaken, for Junior area there. He gave Doe place and thing there because they were friends. That's why I know about Vanja Richard.
But you didn't know that he was killed?
I heard that he was killed, but I don't know who the particular person that killed him. But I heard that he was killed.
You think it were rebels that killed him or it were government troops that killed him?
My brother, I can say that rebel. The reason is some people left from here, they went Botuo. After they went there, maybe they joined the faction and came back to town, and to damage the good image of the government, they used to be in the government uniform and do things. So somebody who were trained to protect the citizen, and you wear the uniform that the citizen having in mind that you can protect them, and you kill them, then you be considered a rebel.
Now, would you have any idea of the death squads that operated during that time? The government death squads. Were you a member, or did you know anybody who was a member?
No. I was not a member of the death squad. Sitting before you here, I work for the PRC security force. That's why I work for at first.
Yes, but you remember there was a second time when all the security forces, FPRC, fire service, everybody was issued sidearm. And FPRC was among those that was issued sidearm. So you had arms.
That's true.
So how did you use your arm?
I was not part of those that they issue firearm. As I speak to you during that time, I was not silent like this.
Okay, my last question to you. You mentioned the late Tele.
Yeah.
How would you describe Tele? As a hero? As a killer? As a loving family man?
Tele came, first thing, Tele came as a volunteer soldier to protect us, but later on, he started killing our own soldier. He turned to rebel. And the AFL killed him in the barrack. It was not Prince Johnson that killed him. It was AFL that killed him. There's the same thing I was telling you just now. Some people can wear a uniform, you see them like soldier, but they behave like rebel. And once you behave like rebel, you are a rebel. You can't be considered a government soldier anymore.
But did you hear that besides killing his own soldiers, that he was part of the death squad?
Who, Tele?
Yeah.
Yeah, but end up being part of the death squad, making they kill him because he was not representing the army and the Republic of Liberia. That's why they killed him.
But it was long after Doe had been killed now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When Doe was living, the soldiers were under control, but when he was killed, everybody was general for themselves.
But Doe was living, there were killings going all around the place. 12th Street, 10th Street, 14th Street, the Colemans, the Vanja Riches, others. All of this was when Doe was alive, right here in Monrovia. This
killing, it happened, I can't deny the fact. But I am telling you, there were some soldiers who were sheep in goat skin. You understand? They used AFL uniform to carry on their clandestine act so that the bad name go to AFL. Because we were in a barrack, plenty of people were there, different tribes. And they can't just take people and execute them. You understand? This thing you're talking about happened outside the fence. It was not in the fence. In the fence where I was, the only thing that used to really kill people fast, it was the sickness they call cholera.
You got any clips on that?
You say if I got any clips on that?
Yeah.
I got plenty of people that died from it. I got plenty of brothers and sisters that died.
Do you have any clips on that?
No, I don't have clip on it.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. If the president was going to die from cholera, I'll come and pull it on clip. Because I will make the Liberian people to know that your president, your heart died from starvation. Then they were going to see it.
Thank you for coming to share your experience with us. You said Doe was invited at the port.
Yeah.
Who invited Doe?
At the ECOMOG field commander, Quinoo.
What? Is it because he had relationship with Prince Johnson? Because he said he never trusted the American after they were firing at the mansion. And he invited ECOMOG to come and lodge at the UL campus, but they didn't agree to come.
Yeah.
But yet instead he trusted them and he went with ECOMOG field commander. Before he went there, at that time, he's already started talking with Prince Johnson. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then he said that the AFL case on arm to Prince Johnson, who was the commander of AFL at that time?
The time they gave the arm to him,
Yes.
the only person that was at the barrel who was the chief was that one back but they put them down. Yeah. Born, as a kind of point that were all there in the barrel.
So Asakan Boy is aware that the AFL or the former President Doe gave Prince Johnson some
Arms and ammunition.
Arms and ammunition.
Before Prince Johnson himself now, he will not tell you no. He even requested for men, and those said no. I can't trust the people children with you.
Besides the army and ammunition, did he give Prince Johnson any other thing because since he refused for the personnel to go with him?
No. He gave any other thing besides the army and ammunition. The only thing, when Prince Johnson left, he went and said, well, send the soldiers are starving here. I'm going to send few bags of rice so that you will help one another. That's how he sent the rice. And you understand? But he never gave nothing else besides the army and ammunition.
When Prince Johnson sent the rice, he sent the rice to the marshal or only to the
He
people?
sent it to the barrack.
So everybody in the barracks ate the rice?
And not everybody, the soldier, the top brother, and they didn't want to get it.
So the rice, how many times did he send the rice to the barracks?
He sent rice the first time. The second time when Moses Clay went there for rice business, that's why they grabbed him. And now Moses Clay is there. Moses is one of the burglars to the late President Doe.
Besides Bowen, any other commander at the barrack that time you can call by name?
Philip Kama is here.
Philip Kama is
All
here.
these people were the high let's say officers in the army. They are here. They were there when Samuel Doe gave the arm to Prince Johnson at that time.
Okay, then from the question Makuli were asking, it seemed as if you were aware that there was a death squad in the AFL at the time. Do you know any other person named besides Tilly
No,
who was member?
sister, one good thing I will tell you here is, for us, when we're in a barrack, almost like, when the husband and the wife in the house, when your husband go outside, you will not know why and why all he can do that. When he bring food to you, you will embrace it and say, fine, I thank God. And you understand? So when they live out in the barrack, we don't know what they can be doing outside. We don't know what activity they are engaged in. And you understand? So I can't tell you this person was desperate or this person was desperate. Because when they come, we all tend to be the same people in the place. But when they come out, that one maybe some can be desperate.
Some white people visited the marshal, and then you assume, but you're not aware, but you are white. You didn't know whether they were American. Were you there at that time?
After the barrack they came. When they came to the barrack, they said they came to sign ceasefire. And anybody that go against the ceasefire between Prince Johnson and Doe, they will deal with you militarily. And you understand? So, this is the time Tilly said that Prince Johnson should be arrested. And Doe said no. What we are here for, it is peace time. Once we have signed document for peace, it's not good for us to go against this document. The Prince Johnson left the barrack the first time of go. And even the second time when he came, that's how he left to go. Because when he comes, he can always come with these white people. Even when Doe were leaving, they marshaled that money to go across. The white people were also in the convoy. But when they reached the new bridge, they took Water Street. So I don't know the type of white people, whether they're Liberian people, whether they're from Korea, I don't know.
So in the month of July, Monrovia was divided.
Yeah.
So which side Prince Johnson was on?
Prince Johnson was across the bridge.
Right across the bridge to where?
Prince Johnson was across the bridge. But for me, I don't used to go there, so I never knew the mean place he was. When Doe got killed, that when I went across the bridge, I was finding my way to run away to go preach. Not knowing when Prince Johnson car passing in the street, everybody can stand like statue when he shake the KU. Because the film actually moving. So when I saw this atmosphere, I said, better I go back in the barrel to die there than for somebody to grab. I reached as far as this place there, the bridge here, St. John Bridge there. Before going to not St. John, St. Paul Bridge. Before going to the other place there. So when I stopped there, I decided to come back.
When you went across the bridge that time, did you notice anything that the people across the bridge how they were treating the civilian?
When I went across the bridge, I noticed that the civilians that were there, majority of them who were not in connection with rebels, they were like slaves. because you can't move freely. When myself went there, it happened to me. I said, I know what's more there. I know how much it is in the house. I said, but I found my level to move right there. But the photograph gave me the first my chicken. Because when they black, not myself. So we stay ready for all the phone. So he says, bring your wife first. Go walk on the phone to the phone. And I come back. I'm passing. Yeah, no, yes. I'm in the market. So, I raised to the last year. Never went to the market. No. So, we didn't go from the market to the market. We didn't go to the market. Yeah, the market was the market. And then the black people. So, no matter what you see. They said, but some people are here and some people are here. So, Charlie, people are not the see my here. I will blame AFL for is anything that happened in the fence there, because they play we were. But beside the fence, I mean myself, I can't answer.
As a civilian, would you say that AFL committed atrocity? As a civilian, do you agree that there was some human rights violation? Did you see any that AFL did?
Well, I can't say that I saw AFL commit atrocity or not, because certain time came.
Human rights violation.
I mean, all the people were in uniform, but they were having different attitude, my sister. Sometimes you look at somebody like a government soldier, and that person maybe he's one of the rebel agents, and you can tell you, go to the place and kill you. And you know, they can't make statement when you die. You can't tell people say they may what came in just now. He one of those people when he die finish.
We don't know how to govern our own affairs. For if we had, we would have not had a need to ask other people to come and help us to establish interim governments, etc. So these failures need to be improved for the future. Some of the questions that I'm concerned about, a particular question I'm really concerned about, is that initial event that triggered everything else that happened. Everything else after 1980 is like a domino, you know, domino effect. military. Also, he talked about Johnson and having series of meetings with international actors involved, and that it was guns or ammunition given to Johnson and Doe didn't want to give it to soldiers. What was the terms of the agreement when they did it? Was he trying to protect Johnson or protect the state by using the president making some other enemy? And the first thing, what do you mean by this military tactic? Who was doing the military tactic? Was it our Liberian army with a self-destruction on its own government by defeating its president with their outside military forces engaged in that process? We have something like the shield post as for you.
Setting before you, I'm not a military personnel. That's the first thing. The second thing here is the way in which Doe and his group managed to enter the mansion. I don't know, and I can demonstrate that. You understand? In the army, the people who are in the army, they always say they are trained to protect life and property. Okay. So for that, I can't dwell on that much, because the tactics they apply, because anybody who do something that another person now know is another tactic. And you understand? Because they know it, you don't know it. So this is the reason why I said military tactic. Because he was not a civilian man at the time. He was a military man and led a group of military people. That's why I say it was military tactics. But I cannot demonstrate the tactics. Number one.
You confirm then that Doe himself, as a person, masterminded that military tactic, or was there another force maybe masterminding it?
Where I
He
can
was a
say
participant.
that Doe himself was the one to carry on that plan, because such a plan, it needs some people who can really think, some high educated people to put such a plan together. You understand? Because since the time Liberia has been founded, it was Doe then the first people to even say they go to a mansion, they take president down. We never heard it before. The first time when we heard it, one of our late uncle, when they said, oh, Doe become president, he came trouble. The first remark the old man made, say, oh, we got in trouble. So I said, Papa, what do you mean by that? He said, but every year they said they create president before. We don't know. And you understand? Okay. Now, the aftermath is what we are receiving. So if we see things and we're not talking to the TRC and we sit down, it means that maybe we have different hidden agenda. So it's better we express it for other people to hear it. Then, of course, you will be free in moving along with the people. That's number one. Number two, Prince Johnson meeting with Samuel Doe. Prince Johnson said Taylor forces were overcoming him. So he wanted to join Doe so that they will move on Taylor.
Okay, I understand.
This is the reason why he came for arms and ammunition, because most of the boys that came with Prince Johnson, at that time, Prince Johnson and Taylor owned the forces, they were fighting behind them. And he was running out of ammo. That when he came to the barrack, and he requested for ammo. So Doe said, as president of the Republic of Liberia, to where you are, there are citizens there. And if you run out of ammo and the rebel come there, because now you have come back to the mother unit, because you were in the army before. So since you have come to the mother unit, I will receive you as a soldier. So to where you are, there are civilians there, population. So what I will do, I will give you arms and ammunition to protect the people on that side from the rebels. Then he said, okay, if you give me the arms and ammunition, I want you to please help me with some manpower. Those said, no, I can't trust you now and give you any balanced charge. You are judged from exchanging fire. For the arms and ammunition, it belongs to the government. I can give to you. But these children are people's children. I can't entrust you with anybody. That's how he gave the arms and ammunition to Prince Johnson.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Witness,
Yes, ma'am.
please thank all we have.
You want to review it. That's what I'm telling you. What you like to issue for this thing. What I only just said, and you said you will use military tactics. You have to make a determination in manner in which Mr. Tomo was
And you say it was not correct, and Doe used military tactics.
Yeah.
Because now, at least from what you see now, because first it looked like you were justifying. Now, Prince Johnson and Yomi, who are military people, who Doe had given ammunition to.
Yeah.
But he said he couldn't give
But children, most of the children, and he have grandchildren. He couldn't give
them.
to go to fight, but he gave the ammunition to Prince Johnson, who will use the ammunition to kill his subject from which he was the commander-in-chief of other people's children. And he used, because the military tactics, they were not just using guns, they were using hooks and knives. Because military tactics that were used with Mr. Thomas were not really gun, but knife. So then you were agreed, and that Mr. Prince Johnson and Yomi also used military tactics
To kill the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia.
Oh, but what
Yes.
happened? It was not military tactics.
What did they use?
You know what happened? If it was among ourselves in Liberia, I would call that military tactic. But now when the ECOMOG state come in and intervene, that
peacekeepers.
we asking you, the peacekeeper, we asking you to come for a meeting. Then when the men go, they grab him. And you understand? So that is not military tactic.
But we didn't see any of the international peacekeeping forces killing Mr. Doe.
Yes, but it was there.
And just like they mentioned,
yeah,
1980 was protected by the military people who were soon, and Toba was killed in that act. It's the same way down to the port. They had peacekeepers there, and the military tactics of Prince Johnson and Yomi came and they took the commander-in-chief, or just like
they took the commander-in-chief from the mansion. 1980. So we see now that military tactics, not well trained for military people want to put in their car, right? And they not competent. They were called you continuously said Doe was a big man who hated politics. Because now we have to find the cause, making a reputation, so that we study war who. I'm not asking you because I'm taking side. I'm trying to find out, and at least from you, who witnessed this thing, from your voice, you know, so I have to find out that, because you have said this one. On the last question, you said that, who it was, and you said that Nancy Doe is your wife. And you said Nancy Doe told you that you saw your, and those people were in jail, told Doe to kill those people, if not, you come back to them. 1980, told them what Nancy Doe was living in Paris. April 12, 1980, April 13, April 14, April 15, when did your wife tell you she came to the mansion to live when Doe them was playing with her? Now she really close to Doe, and Doe was telling her what those people did because she was not present. Thank you very much. This is what I
said previously.
Relative wife is the wife in other world. When that happened, I said, no, it's married to me. President Doe was one of the husband. The next husband is, I am telling you, President Doe is a living witness here. And knows exactly what all happened. You can tell me that the woman will be living in the house. If you don't know what is happening, if there's something going on in the man, woman, and no. But the idea here is, if at all, you as an individual, somebody come and you say, oh, this is what happened. You went up there, you get back to where the numbers. Because we all appear that God, God the measure is going to once you pass yourself, because everybody wants to say anything. You understand? So, what you are asking, this is what is alive. She knows exactly what it is. Which boy again, you understand? The arrest is here for everyone and nobody can come here and everybody can be blessed. I am not telling you what is happening, what is going on. You want to step back and somewhere, so the arrest is not tomorrow, the same thing will happen again. You understand? It's on end from what you said. The arrest is
So in his life,
What do you think motivated President Doe to go across the bridge into a zone controlled by somebody he had been fighting against, not carrying his top security, not carrying enough security, and go there? Was it because he was desperate to leave, or was it because he was afraid that if he had announced that he was going to leave, the other people were not going to let him leave, they're going to hold him hostage? That he had packed suitcases and everything and taken to the port? Why do you think he would pack suitcases and everything carried to the port when he was just going to pay a courtesy call?
Where you understand? So probably they have told him, say, you can come to the free port, because this is the only point they gave him to go out of Liberia. You can come to the free port. So that how he left to go there? And he was killed by Prince Johnson. So there was an evacuation that caused it.
That's the reason why I said, go in that part. That's the one, like evacuation, when I want to go there, and that's one. Peacekeepers that were on the ground, if my Russian don't come. That's the reason why I left. And then I said, I passed the war, it was the harassment. My brother went down when I walked left right. Yeah. When I let come in, those eyes, somebody found it. I let it go. So they put me there, and now the road is very good more. And when they
to go. The fire corridor they open and that where Prince Johnson now grab him. Then where do he go? He must go through Chatelaine line from here. Monrovia looking like human being. That only one road to pass. You come from Cape Mount straight, you go in Nima County, you going across. You come from Nima, you going straight Cape Mount. No other road here to go out of Liberia. So where will he go that time? No plane can land.
So what role did you play? You were close to Doe. You say you were a civilian. Were you an advisor during that time? Or you, because you have said a lot of things that you say you were there, you were present, you listened to it and all of that. So what role were you playing?
I was not an advisor. I told you, I said I'm a family member. I'm not an advisor to the president. I'm a family member. And once they say anything, and you understand, you just got to get it in anyway, anyhow. You got to get information on that. Because when it reach to this stage now, everybody will curious about their life. So when they go to a meeting, we are concerned to go and know what is our fate. Because we're not even expecting to live. You see?
So you didn't know how the Lutheran Church massacre occurred?
No. I don't know about it. I only heard about it in the morning.
Thank you.
I was even afraid to come on the roadside because the same people that can go to Lutheran, they could kill myself too. So I was keeping in the fence. Because I know that when I die in the fence, the people know say they kill me. So I was afraid to come out.
How did you hear about it? How did you hear about the Lutheran Church incident?
Lutheran Church incident?
So from 1986 up to the time of the coup, 1990, you lived across the bridge in Lockington.
I lived across the bridge.
And the only job you had in government was that of a security personnel with
At NPFL.
NPFL.
Yes, sir.
1990, the war came and giving his.
After we find out that things were going on here, we always go to what our life.
I know. You spoke of a lot of things, diplomats coming, people signing agreements and all of that.
That is right to the barrier to brigade.
You don't have a copy of those agreements.
I don't have copy of those agreements.
I'm sure you didn't read those agreements.
No.
Were you in any of those meetings the president had? No.
The meetings the president had?
Yeah.
The only thing that I saw, what I listened to when Prince Johnson came, at that time, we're not in the house, they talking right on the steps, and I was around there.
So that's the only one?
Yes, I listened to that.
All the other ones were after the fight?
Yes, I listened to that.
This is meeting that the men have with other ambassadors here, with the U.S. ambassador, and the president and the come. You see, it's something that we manufacture and American buy and use it. And when he left, communication was one of the mansion. I remember.
Are there things that went wrong under the Doe administration that you are not happy with, that you are aware of?
Well, to be frank with you, as I told you during Doe administration, to the new bridge.
My question to you initially was, you didn't leave the mansion to go across the bridge of the president?
No.
So everything that happened on the president way or at Freeport, you are not aware of?
No, I was not there at that time. The only place I stopped, I said that to the new bridge.
When but that was, no, listen, I'm following you. That was long after the president had left.
Okay, yes.
So even if Americans were accompanying the president in the convoy to notice that he did?
No, I was not in the convoy.
Okay, so if any information you gather about that is what somebody told you?
It was not somebody that told me on that, because what happened, when we got the information that man went across and he can't come back, when we went there, that when we start asking the other civilians, some people were walking, coming from across, some people were walking, going. And you understand? That when we reach there, the people make us understand. I said, well, since the president go there with weapon, and that will happen. And now people say, well, the weapon will not go, they start ready to go. So at that time, Continental were already blocking the bridge. And ECOMOG were on the side to us. They said nobody must go down there. They met in safe hands. They met in our hand.
So ECOMOG knew when you were crossing that door you were going to look for?
Yeah, but the soldiers were in front of us. We were behind them. What really happened in life of living in this world? Understand? After he not being actuality, the parents that we're talking about, President Obama, and the religion, best friend, President Doe, asking this particular government, and the system. You understand? We know that. like butt naked, who just came to Benin,
1996, the president of had a barrack. I went butt naked, came to Benin. And he come here, but we don't feel for him. We got the border, I know, but no good. He can't do it. I bet I'm coming with a letter. Now that 1996, we got to go. Butt naked, why you came to have this?
and he begin to start saying a whole lot of things.
That's why that's I said, if I don't do that, I don't do that. Because not there, it's not so rich, we have to put it in there. Why back into the and the body of the curry, I never said that. We don't want to be protected.
But in that election law say we must be 35. The man all went through election. They can't follow the edge.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
In addition, yes, I want to say something. The letter I showed to you. What happened is, you know, our people, they say the back when the Japanese have a saying. They say, and I'm not going to my father, you can't remember no. Why you see the word of Japanese? And I'm on the way to put us in shoot and one way you kill it. And you walk and come back on you. And you understand? So this is what we expect. If administration is there and the other product comes, they will remember that the other people that they took from there, they had family, they will remember them. And you understand? This is what I was referring to. So this letter that you see, so somebody writing letter to somebody, it's because of what peace and friendship. If you have an enemy, you can write them. That way you can put that class in for me.
So let me make that point clear to you, so you understand it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And General Officer,
Yeah.
right away.
These things,
Yeah.
I make copy and send them to the office.
No, we'll make up it now.
Oh, you will make copy now?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a problem with you.
Okay. We'll give it to you before you go.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us